Welcome to Albums Out of 100. A quick shout out to Thundercat, who's one of my first subscribers. This is a music album review channel where I give albums a standardised mark, unsurprisingly, out of 100. You are currently listening to a review of the album Ian McNabb by Ian McNabb. Yeah, that has the potential to get confusing fast, doesn't it? Feel free to listen along if you have the album. Unfortunately, this one isn't available on Spotify. However, I have made a YouTube playlist of the album that I recommend you listen through as you listen to this review. It's linked on your screen right now. Let's get started then, and remember, what follows is simply my opinion. The artist is Ian McNabb, which means that this is in fact an eponymous album, as the artist name and the album name are the same. Artists often release eponymous albums at the start of their musical careers to introduce their voice and musical style to the masses of radio listeners. Largely, it helps promote sales, as even the real morons can find the album on iTunes if the name of the artist and album are the same. Ian played his eponymous album card mid-career in an attempt to widen his fanbase after a 5-year electric music hiatus. Tracklist. Track 1, Living Proof, Miracles Can Happen. Track 2, Whatever It Takes. Track 3, What You Wanted. Track 4, Liverpool Girl. Track 5, If We Believe What Love Can Do. Track 6, All Right With Me. Track 7, Hollywood Tears. Track 8, Open Air. Track 9, Nothing Less Than the Very Best. Track 10, Hotel Stationery. Track 11, Rockin' for Jesus. Track 12, Friend of My Enemy. Track 13, Moment in the Sun. Track 14, I Wish I Was in California. The genre is rock, with noticeable pop influences. This was Ian's 5th album, so by my ruling, that means he should have quite an accomplished musical style in this album. It was released in 2001. Album cover. Ian's younger self is portrayed in a fancy dress costume. His arms are outstretched in an expression of joy, yet he is surrounded by darkness. Interesting. 4 out of 5. Listening experience and lyrical analysis. Track 1, Living Proof, Miracles Can Happen. This song's lyrics convey an honest exultation at the wonders love can perform through a sexual relationship. Ian suggests that purity and truth can be found through such a relationship. Structurally, the guitar build-up to the chorus is very well placed, and the latter instrumental bridge is very memorable. This serves then as a great introduction to the album. Track 2, Whatever It Takes. Here, the drum beat and the guitar both complement each other nicely and are all-pervading. Equally, the piano exit from the chorus breaks up the rhythm well. The lyrics depict an obsession for a woman, and the heavily repeated chorus, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get you, reinforces this sense of fixation. Track 3, What You Wanted. An intense crashing drum and guitar introduction bridges from track 2 to this one, linking the two tracks thematically. These two tracks can be seen as two parts of the same track really, as for this track the lyrical story is of a lover spurned by his crush. There is a sense of bitterness and anger in the lyrics, echoed in the greater prominence of the bass guitar. Additionally, the guitar riff is divine, especially in the guitar solo. The lyrics lament how his ex-lover could possibly find more joy from another man than from him. The persona is also visited by a guardian angel like Stranger in the Rain, but finds the advice to forget the woman impossible to put to action. There is also a lyrical caesura when the persona tries to recount how his ex will be telling her new lover the same words about making her feel special that she once said to him. Track 4, Liverpool Girl. Fun and very lively, this would suit being a film theme. Here, Ian talks proudly of my Liverpool girl and provides an amusing account of the attractive features of said ideal girl. Astute observations fit well into the lyrics such as this gem. Just to clarify, yes, it's hinting that her mother had an affair, resulting in her brother really being a half-brother. There is also a move to a disco-like atmosphere created mid-song through a synthesizer and a change in the drum beat. There is also a recurring instrumental section used to break up verses, and the use of clapping during this section adds tempo to the track. Track 5, If We Believe What Love Can Do. You will have heard the piano chord before. It was later reused by an artist called Pink in Learn to Love Again. Now I'm not going to use this opportunity to accuse Pink of stealing, but it feels satisfying to know that she only stole the chord because it was so good. The lyrics feature optimistic talk of how love can solve life's problems. McNabb successfully reaches some very high notes in the chorus, and his stunning voice is the highlight of the track. Another first-class feature is a crashing piano chord, transitioning the track smoothly to the bridge as the song reaches a joyous crescendo. Track 6, All Right With Me. Firstly, there's a strong beat, and the guitar solos are once again very accomplished, complementing McNabb's voice perfectly. Within the lyrics, the persona talks of how his love for his partner is so strong that he would do anything for her. Unlike in songs like Grenade by Bruno Mars, McNabb doesn't overplay the lengths the persona would go to. He just talks of simple and honest pleasures of a relationship. Track 7, Hollywood Tears. This track uses a slower tempo and less instrumentation, creating a mournful sound. The layering of McNabb's voice works well, and where instruments are used, the piano and French horn are really the focus, the latter really standing out in a moving outro. The lyrics can be interpreted as talking about the desensitisation of society, where false tears are taking the place of love and care for others. Track 8, Open Air. Here, the layering of McNabb's voice doesn't work so well, and this is weaker musically and lyrically than the other tracks on the album. The lyrics talk of how nature can remedy all our problems. Really? Can nature get me a well-paid job? Sign me right up. Track 9, Nothing Less Than the Very Best. Well, this serves its purpose as a rock song, but nothing more really. It just isn't as interesting to listen to as the rest of the album. Track 10, Hotel Stationery. This is a slower narrative, with instrumentation quieted. The persona of the lyrics pleads for his partner to take him back, writing on the free stationery of a hotel room where he is run away to. Presumably having had a short-lived affair, the lyrics communicate the sense that his true love for his other partner cannot be forgotten or given up on a whim. Track 11, Rockin' for Jesus. This quirky addition to the album is an effective and amusing style parody of a happy-clappy gospel song. It's really there as a chance for McNabb to be a bit tongue-in-cheek, I sense. Now, although I said this was a Nicky take, the lyrics give no definite clue that the track is intended as such, and as a listener you have to make your own decision if McNabb is serious or not. The track is presented as a live recording, with voices shouting out things like, "Oh yeah!" and "Praise be!" in the foreground of the track. It also features an exceedingly catchy chorus. Don't think this track is designed with any ill intent though, it's just a fun try at a different genre by McNabb. Track 12, Friend of My Enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'm sure we've all heard that phrase before. In the chorus of this track, McNabb takes it and kind of mixes it up so you have a long string of this, to the extent where it all becomes amusingly jumbled. Perhaps this juxtaposition has a meaning? Probably. I can't hit upon it though. McNabb has also mixed the verses with other familiar clichés. Once again it features stunning guitar work and vocals. Track 13, Moment in the Sun. An anthemic, joyous, uplifting, catchy standout track. The chorus will get stuck in your head for millennia, and the inspiring lyrics about finally reaching your time to shine make this a real classic. Plus, it has my pet favourite song feature, a strong bridge. Nicki Minaj, if you're watching, this track is how it's done. Track 14, I Wish I Was in California. This track is vibrant, hopeful, and reminiscent of good times. The guitar riff is very memorable and helps the vocals. The song talks of how simply being in California could solve the problems of life. These then are simple lyrics, but you can't really complain after 12 tracks preceding it with strong lyrics, especially when it makes such a lovely end to the album with its gentle imagery. Overall, for listening experience, although it really stands out from other rock albums and is an absolute pleasure to listen to, tracks 8 and 9 just aren't up to the high standard of the other tracks, and near to full 39 points then. Overall for lyrics, Ian McNabb, the album of course, scores a perfect 40 out of 40 points, because I can't fault it in any way. Fluency. Ian McNabb, the artist that is, his voice is strong throughout and is always complemented by flawless instrumentation. There is also a nice mix of tracks, from the mournful Hotel Stationery to the upbeat Moment in the Sun. Most importantly, however, the strong meaningful lyrics don't take away from the fact that this is a very fun album to listen to. It isn't the sort of album where you have to think, "This sounds crap, but hey, the lyrics are meaningful, so I'll torture my ears just a little more." It's not like that at all. For Fluency, the album scores a full 10 out of 10. Meaning, if my calculations are correct, that Ian McNabb, the album of course, has scored a blistering 93 points out of 100. And it really is that good. I would strongly recommend buying a copy. It's only on CD to date. My pick of standout tracks would be the ones displayed on your screen as I speak. I just can't bring myself to narrow it down any further than that. I consider the above tracks to be modern classics. Well, that's it for this review. Leave a comment below to let me know what rating you would give Ian McNabb, the album of course. This channel also has an official Facebook page, so like that too if you want to see some more album reviews. An MP3 of this video is also available on SoundCloud. Now, just a quick apology. As many of you all know, this video was billed to be a review of OK Computer by Radiohead. Unfortunately, Just before I came to record said review, thinking I'd finally pinned down every last meaning of the deep, deep lyrics, I had a sudden epiphany and discovered a hidden layer of lyrical meaning. Not wanting to do the greatest album of all time a disservice, I resolved to fully analyse this hidden layer of deep meaning within the songs. So then, I leave you with a great deal of uncertainty as to what the next review will be of. See you then. The artist is McNabb, which means that this is in fact an eponymous album, as the artist name and the album name are the same. Artists often release eponymous albums at the start of their musical careers to introduce their voice and musical style to the masses of radio listeners. Largely, it helps promote sales, as even the real morons can find the album on iTunes if the name of the artist and album are the same. Ian played his eponymous album card mid-career in an attempt to widen his fanbase after a 5-year electric music hiatus. Tracklist. Track 1, Living Proof, Miracles Can Happen. Track 2, Whatever It Takes. Track 3, What You Wanted. Track 4, Live. Welcome to Albums Out of 100. A quick shout out to Thundercat, who's one of my first subscribers. This is a music album review channel where I give albums a standardised mark, unsurprisingly, out of 100. You are currently listening to a review of the album McNabb by McNabb. Yeah, that has the potential pool girl. Track 5, If We Believe What Love Can Do. Track 6, All Right With Me. Track 7, Hollywood Tears. Track 8, Open Air. Track 9, Nothing Less Than the Very Best. Track 10, Hotel Stationery. Track 11, Rockin' for Jesus. Track 12, Friend of My Enemy. Track 13, it'll get confusing fast, doesn't it? Feel free to listen along if you have the album. Unfortunately, this one isn't available on Spotify. However, I have made a YouTube playlist of the album that I recommend you listen through as you listen to this review. It's linked on your screen right now. Let's get started then, and remember, what follows is simply my opinion.